So this is the reason you haven't seen any Mercedes videos in a while. This is an 88 Audi 5000 CS Turbo Quattro Avant. I've wanted one of these cars again for a while. I had a Quattro naturally aspirated sedan like 15 years ago. And this car, up until about, I think, 2014, lived its life in California. So it is just in amazing condition. There's not a speck of rust anywhere on this car. The exhaust is all original. Like you can look here on the edge of the window. Sometimes they like to pick up a little corrosion there, or even the screws on the license plate lights. No corrosion. The plastic chrome delaminating a little bit, but you know, whatever. For as nice as the body is, get ready for this. Almost 280,000 miles. It was very well taken care of. The interior is the sport interior. So this is leather on the bolsters, Alcantara in the middle. It's a little worn, but whatever. I've got the computer apart over there and a boost gauge hooked up because I've been fiddling with the boost levels a little bit. Always better when things are faster, right? Automatic climate control out of Cadillac. It's not perfect, you know, like the stitching here on the steering wheel is coming apart. One of the bigger things is the headliner fabric is gone. I'm going to try and get that retrimmed, but the shell itself is in nice shape. You know, a very complete car. Still one key, even like the main key has the flashlight in it yet. So what have I had to do to it? Me, not much. Fixed wiring on the radio. I had to do some repairs to the sunroof, which now works as it should. Clicking noise you hear periodically is a little timing wheel that makes the motor switch between its two speeds and also makes it stop. You know, replace some light bulbs. Driver's seat memory still doesn't work. I got to fix that. Yeah. And then like capacitors in some of the control units on this, like the interior light delay relay and the radiator fan after run control relay needed new capacitors, but that's all pretty straightforward. Let's oh yeah, and I was able to hook the radio up to the retained accessory power, so when I open the door the radio will turn off. Let's look under the hood. So this is the 2.2 10 valve turbo. Engine code is MC. And when you really start looking at the details under the hood of this car, it stands out at you. You know, no corrosion on any of the fasteners. Like, okay, maybe there's a scratch there on the firewall, but like, look at the brackets, look at the fasteners and all of the nuts. Everything is so clean. Growing up in the Salt Belt, you did not see cars like this. So what all is going on under here? This is my temporary replacement for the injector cooling fan. There's supposed to be a plastic thing here that directs air down onto the fuel injectors, which turned to dust and is no longer available. So some carburetor heat riser tubing is fitting the bill. I had to do a little bit of wiring work on the fan. These cars have a 500 watt cooling fan, and it's originally not fused. So I added some fuses on that. I don't want to burn the car down. These cars have a central hydraulic system. So one reservoir, a 2-section pump. I forget which half is which. One half does the power steering, the other half does the power brake booster. This does not have vacuum boost brakes. It is hydraulically assisted. In Europe, you could get hydraulic self-leveling suspension in the rear as well. That was not available in the US. What else have I had to do? So the throttle switch on this was bad. The computer only starts adding boost when you get to like 60-75% throttle, something like that. And that load switch was bad. It actually, the vane inside was broken. I had to solder some wires across the support. Just, checking vacuum lines. This is the N75 valve. The way these regulate boost is that the wastegate spring, which lives under here, these have an external wastegate. The wastegate spring is set to open at, I think, about 5 PSI, something like that. And then the computer takes, one side of this is hooked to vacuum, the other side is hooked up to manifold pressure. It will connect manifold pressure onto the vent side of the wastegate to hold it closed. And that's how it adds boost on top of the wastegate spring. This is acting as a diaper because that power steering line leaks. I've got a new one. It needs to go in yet. The passenger side headlight had a stone chip, which you can't see the clear tape, but it was clear JB weld underneath of it. And then I'll insert some photos, but you can see how the water had gotten in and ruined the reflector. So this has got mirror tape from Amazon inside of it, and it's working really well. I'm surprised. I'm trying to get a set of Euro lights, but they are hard to come by for these now. The driver's side light's like new old stock, so that's good. Something else I had to do to this was kind of a fix for the kind of a boneheaded design decision on the electrical system. Let me show you the battery. So the battery on these cars lives under the back seat, and as it was originally, these 2 red wires are what supplied all the power to the fuse box, including for the fan and everything. The thermostat was stuck open on this car, and so the radiator fan ended up running a whole lot. And these wires were getting so hot that you couldn't hardly touch them. So this heavy wire here goes to the starter and the alternator. The previous owner had also done a lot of work on it. He replaced that wire because it was junk. I went through and I've now got this going through a 150 amp marine circuit breaker. And then down there is a 6-gauge wire that is also plumbed into the back of the fuse box. And it improved the voltage at the fuel pump by 1.5 volts. Because you think it has to come all the way from the front, all the way to the back, all the way up and over to the fuse box, and then all the way back to the fuel pump. Kind of a circuitous route. This thing even has the original cargo cover. And then on the Quattro cars, their spare tire lives here under the floor. On the front drive cars, the spare would live down in there. But so I just get a bonus storage compartment compared to the one over here. Lots of space to to stash things. But yeah, what else? Because the car was in California originally, it failed its emissions check, and it had to get a new catalytic converter in I think 2014. So it got a new one from Audi. Yeah, I don't know. It's got a lot of miles on it, but it really drives great. And I'm really enjoying it. And it's got a couple little dents and things. This fender, I bet a PDR guy could get that out. Where you see that white mark, it's kind of pushed in a little bit. But yeah, I think that fix up the headliner. Should be actually a pretty darn nice car. I'm looking forward to having it be pretty spiffy. As is now, it drives pretty nice. Getting about 22 miles per gallon. Driving down to Seattle and back in either, going 75 miles an hour or 10. Not much in between. The driver's seat fabric is actually torn right there. I just have a piece of gaff tape underneath of it holding it together. It's working out pretty good. But yeah, everything works. Even the anti-lock brakes, air conditioning. Previous owner just put a new compressor and dryer in it. Radio. So yeah, look to see more from this car in the future.